The two most successful countries in the world are China and the United States. I think by comparing with the United States, we can basically find the trends and context for China's future development. I believe that trend investing is extremely important. Personally, I want to emphasize that China's consumer market has entered a very important transitional era, similar to America's era of granular prosperity. With 1.4 billion people, if each spends just 1 yuan, that's a 1.4 billion yuan business. If each spends 1 yuan a day times 365 days, that's a huge industry with hundreds of billions in revenue and a trillion yuan market value. How many Chinese companies reach 100 billion? In total, only 147 companies in China have a market value over 100 billion yuan, not dollars, yuan. China is still on the path to creating super companies. This is the backdrop of our era. So in this kind of era, what do we need? We need a great era of dividends. 1.4 billion people need to have consumption play the most important role in the macroeconomic growth and development of our time, because these 1.4 billion people give us limitless strength, and even our highest authorities recognize this, right? Where does our greatest strength come from? Comes from people. 1.4 billion people. Now, when it comes to the current relationship between China and the US, as well as the global landscape with the overall world environment shifting to the left, it's actually extremely difficult for Chinese industries to move up the value chain. But there's one thing we can achieve, making sure 1.4 billion people eat well, drink well, have fun, and enjoy life. This is basically reliable. So, with the process of urbanization, back in 1949, our urbanization rate was only 10%. What about today? It's about 60%. In the next 10 years, we might reach 75%, which means around 800 million people will be living in cities. Because of urbanization, because our auto industry has put wheels on every aspect of our lives, and because of centralized living, we now have centralized commerce and chain businesses. But let me tell you, this is exactly what happened in the United States from 1923 to 1929, when President Coolidge was in office. America began to enter the modern consumer society, and that's when modern consumer culture emerged. All the great companies, the powerful consumer and service companies we see today, were born during that era. If you're interested, go look up what year McDonald's was founded and what year KFC was founded. Almost all the successful globalized chain companies you see today were basically founded during that era. This happened because people moved into cities, consumers rose up, and as people started living together in large numbers and transportation became more convenient, society began to need centralized commerce, chains, better products, better services, and more perfect supply chains. This is what I call the Coolidge prosperity. Now, China has reached this era as well. This is a great wave of the times, so please make sure you don't miss out.